back, everybody. You are listening to Faustrolog. I am your DM, Thomas, and we are going to recover from the carnage that was the end of last episode. Let's briefly go around the table. Eric, would you like to introduce your character?
Sure. I'm playing Ellison. I am an anthrid, which is a humanoid, and I usually just try to go in and wreck everything by hand / whatever weapon I'm using, but that doesn't always work, so we'll see if that changes soon.
Seemed to work last time, though. It was a good strategy, for sure.
Yeah.
Sully?
Hi, I'm Sully, and I'm playing Vok, the cultist.
Who may or may not be doing his true occultist voice today.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, and Mark?
I am playing Griffith. I am a very special skunk. I like a pleasure.
And Matt is not joining us today because last night Logan found an uninventoried cask of rum in the bottom of the boat, and I think he drank it all, kept it to himself.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, nobody's seen him this morning.
Matt as well.
Actually, he's in lower, he's in worse condition than when he was semi-comatose and babbling earlier.
Right.
All right, so there was a big fight last time. The crew attempted to recover some valuables and actually succeeded in recovering at least a couple of valuables from the corpse of a fallen, we don't know exactly what it was, god, titan, some giant hoplite looking creature of anthrid shape, but about 200 feet tall. After falling into the water with all the sharks, a massive rescue was run, and Griffith was pulled up with just a few teeth in his hide, and it looked like all the spoils were to be had. And then the deckhands on board mutinied the mutineers, and Vok was thrown overboard, and they attempted to get away with the ship, which was entirely my design as a DM, and they failed. With some clever use of magic and some nasty cutlass work, the crew was laid low. The golems we have 4 golems left, and they are acting as dutiful sailors, and they don't seem to be responding to anything else. When we left, the lifeboat was tethered to the ship magically with Logan's spell, but while he was drinking, he thought, I don't want to keep my concentration, so he threw a rope over it. So the lifeboat is tethered. It's not back on its it was cut free, so it's not repaired yet, but it is tethered to the back of the boat with a good old-fashioned rope. And Larson and Carson are dead. They are shark food. McPherson has been thrown in the brig. And that's it for the deckhands. So we have now an even more skeletonized skeleton crew on the San Celeste. And that's all I got for recap.
I just wanted to know, I was thinking about this, since I haven't listened to the last episode. Did we recover the gem? Did we recover anything from the body of the Titan?
So I had wrapped it up and roped it and thrown a crowbar as a makeshift grappling hook onto the lifeboat, and it stuck. But I don't think I've actually pulled it up yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Ellison did some very good rope work. There's no way you're going to lose that unless you do something ridiculous.
Okay. I had forgotten because I was busy flying and murdering.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like if we use our weapons, particularly bladed ones, to help leverage the rope out of the water, we could probably lift that gem up pretty easily.
Right. Yeah. I would say whatever your sharpest blades are, and just use them, against each other. Sort of like...
And then turn them into the dullest blades.
All right, so here we are on deck, and I really want to resume play, but if you guys are up for it, I want to do a brief meta break, and we're going to test the level up mechanics, because you guys are essentially level 2 now.
Cool.
So the leveling is luck based, but it's designed so that you essentially always get something. And if you don't get what you want, it's a good idea not to wig out about it, because you probably will get what you want the next time. So this is something along the lines of like rolling for your hit points in D&D instead of just taking the average, that sort of thing. And I will entertain some arguments if this seems totally unfair, but hopefully it's going to seem totally fair.
Well,
right.
luckily Sullivan isn't feeling well, so you probably won't get a ton of argument out of him this time.
Right. If I just hang in there, he'll eventually, just
Give up.
get exhausted.
Capitulate.
Yeah,
Try
exactly.
my
That's my
best
plan.
to argue with you as much as possible.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. And then I actually I did a little bit more on the action mechanics. Totally valid criticism last time that I haven't explained the action mechanics very well, and it's mostly because I've imported them from one of my previous games and not told you guys how they work. So I will try to explain more clearly how they work. But let's level up first.
All right.
So the way to level up is you're going to need your roller, your Faustrolog roller, or some physical dice.
Or both.
And we're going to make a roll,
Mhm.
and you want to just leave it there, and we're going to stare at it because there are a lot of unusual questions we'll ask about this roll. This isn't just a everyday roll. This is a level up roll.
All right. I got it.
So do we
Alright.
have someone have the link to that again? I thought it was
It
pinned.
is-
Yep.
It is heavydicepodcast.com/Faustrolog.
Okay.
That's cool, actually. Listeners could probably log on and roll that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Have fun with the dice.
At some point,
So-
I will work on it and make it so it's legible. But right now, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's functional at least.
The one big difference from this roll is, although matches are still important, in some cases you might not want to match. Misses, things that don't match, are reasonably important too. So, I would say roll a couple, 3 times or whatever, or take a deep breath and roll once. Get a roll that you're reasonably happy with, and then I'll tell you the rules. And then from then on,
How do we know?
we'll just do it all by one roll.
How do we know
You
if
don't
we're
know-
gonna like our roll?
I'm just taking the first
Right,
roll.
right.
Yeah, I'm just taking the first
Take
roll.
the first roll.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. Take the first roll, and then I'll explain.
Explain
There's
it
no
to me.
time.
The only reason I said roll as much as
Come
you
on.
want is because I'm anticipating this will let me deflect some criticism in the future.
Nope.
I know it's silly to try. But right.
There's no deflection, Varl.
I sure hope matches don't matter because I got 0.
I got one match, and I feel like I'm not
Uh-huh.
gonna want matches, but I'm gonna leave it because it was my first roll.
Maybe I add to the sheet everything I got that doesn't match.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Here's the
right?
deal. I matched 2, which I think is going to be important, but one of them is scratched through because I'm so injured.
Okay, we're gonna let you recover with at least. I think you guys are gonna have time to recover in this episode, but for the purposes of the level up, you don't have to consider that scratch through.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to talk about this role in 2 chunks. The vita, the verve, intellect, thu, and alacrity,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about first, and then we're going to talk about luck.
All right.
And they operate separately in this role.
Good.
So for the vita role, it's pretty straightforward. Any match you got is an addition of 1 to your max elan.
Ooh.
So this is sort of like a hit point advancement. So any match you got is an addition of 1 to your max elan. And if you didn't get any matches, don't worry about that. And of the ones that you have left that you have missed, any one of those misses any one single of those misses can be added to your sheet as an advanced ability. The maximum is 5, so if any of you guys, I don't think any of you have 5 in anything yet, but you're never going to get above 5 because you have to have the potential for failure. But you can add that symbol, that aspect to your sheet
Okay.
where it doesn't, where it's missing. You're adding one aspect, so you can't add this to everything or
Right.
choose your favorite 2 or whatever. It's just one that advances. And I would say try to think about how you performed. And if there's one thing where you were constantly missing, it makes sense to add to that because your character would be frustrated by missing this all the time. If there was one thing that you never used, though, you might not want to add anything to that because your character's not making any real use of it. I won't challenge any of these missions.
Will there be an opportunity for me to get more spells? Like ever?
Yes, there will.
Okay.
Now I'll explain the way the spells work after this.
Well, yeah, I just didn't want to add to my intellect if I'm not going to get any more spells.
You'll definitely get more spells
Okay.
as time goes on.
I really like how this works because as you level up and you start to fill in your vita, you're going to at least get more elan and get more powerful, even though you're not increasing your likelihood of matches. So it's going to be very difficult to
Exactly.
get to the point where you are guaranteed a match in some specific attribute. Um, but at least you are still progressing.
Right, right. You're getting. It's sort of like youth and age. You're in your early levels, you're more likely to get more capabilities. In your later levels, you're more likely to get more elan, more staying power, more hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have two questions. First is, when you say for any match you get a point, do you mean that for every match I get a point? So if I had 2 matches, I get
For
two additional.
for
Two.
each matches, you get 1 point of elan. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you got 2 matches, you get 1 point for each, total of 2.
Okay, and then my second question to you is: I know that we've played this. This would be our fifth, actually maybe sixth time that we've even spoken about this. But I don't remember what, other than intellect, I don't remember what anything is. What is verb? Is that strength?
Verve is your charm,
Okay.
your emotional intelligence, your ability to influence people, that sort of stuff.
All right.
Intellect, I know you know that, but just to review it,
Sure.
that's your intelligence. That's your ability to recall things like spells. It's also your ability to notice things,
Yeah.
find details. Verve, for instance, would be your ability to notice things like someone's intention.
Okay.
Intellect would be, you notice the mud on their shoes, sort of thing. Thu is strength. It's your sinews, your ability both to dish out and to take a beating with fists, that sort of thing. Alacrity is your agility, your finesse of movement.
Okay.
And luck is luck.
Right. Okay, so alacrity is what I failed. Well, no, I got my bane, which is why I fell in the water. But alacrity is the reason why it wasn't easy for me to get on that Titan.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So
That was a jaunt.
yeah.
So I'll bring up the skill sheet too, just so that we can look at it. Assuming I can find it. But yeah, that was a jaunt, and it did not pay off.
Yep.
It did not work the way you wanted.
All right, cool. So I have a non-match in alacrity.
All right. So let's talk about luck. So with luck, if you got a double lodestar, which probably nobody did, you can gain potentially a new skill or more luck. But I doubt anybody got that. Okay. If you got a double bane, did anybody get that? That would be gaining a flack. So something works against you.
That's cool.
If you got a double result of something that's not your lodestar, but it is luck that you have, if anybody got that, that would be an additional elan and an additional knack.
Oh.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
so if you got a double result of luck that's not on your sheet?
No, it has to be on your
That is
sheet.
on your sheet. It is on your sheet.
Wait, but how can it be on your sheet and not be your load?
Because, for instance, I have my lodestar and I have my bane, but I also have soul, which is it's just another luck aspect.
Oh,
Yeah, the
I
lodestar
thought
is a special.
I thought the lodestar was everything on the left and the bale was everything on the right.
Yeah.
No, the lodestar is just what's the furthest left on the sheet.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go retcon some of your successes now.
Right?
No, I only have one luck, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, a lot of, depending on your character build, you may only have one, lodestar and one bane and nothing else.
But also, I don't think I've ever rolled a lodestar before. I've only rolled bales. So I don't think
Well, it's a 1 in 36 chance for either. So
yeah.
maybe you're buying some karma. All right. So of your 2 dice, for every die that matches normally, so not double, every die that matches something on your sheet, you get either a +1 spell, you get to learn a spell here,
Okay.
or you get a piece of common gear that makes sense. Not a magic item, but any piece of common gear that makes sense in this situation.
Okay.
And this was a reasonably well-stocked boat, and it was unstocked pretty quickly, so it's quite possible that any piece of weapon or armor that you want here would exist. Now, something about the spells that I hinted at earlier. These are not spell slots. There aren't spell slots in Faustrolog. These are just actual spells that you know. So this would be, for instance, that you found a scroll, and it's not the scrolls in Faustrolog don't work like D&D scrolls. They're not used once and burn away. You read them and you learn the spell. So did anybody get a match that was not a double match?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you can choose a spell or any piece of common gear, and let me bring up the.
What do you mean by a match that was not a double match?
So I rolled in luck a comet, and I have that on my sheet.
Oh, okay, it was luck, sure.
Yeah, we're just talking about luck right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see.
So same thing with me. I have soul, but I only have one of them.
Okay. So you can choose a spell or a piece of common gear.
I would like to know if I could rumble around in this ship and find a linothorax.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
totally.
Because I used to have that on my sheet, and I couldn't afford it. So.
Oh, jeez. So do I pick my spell, or do I just randomly roll one? I'm cool with either, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I feel like you should roll.
I think if you can,
100.
Yeah.
yeah, there's 100 of them. I think if you could make a really strong reason for why this particular spell would be there, I would probably allow it. But yeah, how about the general? Let's say in general, we'll roll twice and pick the one you prefer.
Okay, let's see if let's roll a D100. Go. We got a 91 and a 94.
Oh my god. I got fireball.
Seriously?
Nice.
Okay, so I got either teleport or true sight. And honestly, teleport without reading it sounds much better, but let's see what it says. So teleport, let me slide this over so I can read the whole thing. An object disappears and reappears on the ground or stable surface in a visible, clear area up to R turns, walking distance away. Oh, so it's not just me, it's any object. That could include me and other people? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The other one is true sight. You see through all nearby illusions of R or lesser risk. Ooh. I keep...
So
see...
the true sight would work versus invisibility, for instance, but if somebody casts the hell out of an invisibility spell, you might still not be able to penetrate it.
Right, and I have to guess that difficulty level, right? Or risk level.
Yeah, when you roll it, like if you want to do a risk 3 spell, you would say that, and then you would make your roll. And if you didn't get enough, the way all spellcasting works is if you don't get enough successes to just do it, if you don't get enough matches, just do it, then you can spend Elan to make up the difference.
See, now...
As long as you have it.
I feel like True Sight is the better match, but on the fun side, teleport. It's teleport.
I mean, teleport would have helped us
Right.
so much with that.
Right?
Getting
Just
the-
bloop, you're up
Yeah.
there.
Stone.
Yeah.
Where's my movement speed? I don't see that on my sheet anywhere.
There isn't a movement speed. It's basically one movement. It's a unit itself.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's like a static number. What is walking distance like?
It's basically 30 feet.
Okay.
And then if you spend more matches on it, especially alacrity matches, you can go further. So if you were to spend an alacrity match on it, you could go twice as far.
Yeah, because I just picked up Sagittarius in my alacrity, so I've got 3 alacrity and 3 thew now.
Oh, alacrity is used for spellcasting?
No, it's used for moving. He's talking about.
Oh, okay. So I added
Right.
a thew.
That's right, because it's intellect for spellcasting usually, right?
Yeah, and verve if you have Ken.
Yes.
Both of these are going to be very difficult. I mean, I can use my Elan to make up the difference. Because I do have 4 Elan now.
While you're balancing this, there's just one more rule about this.
Okay.
For every luck die that you haven't used for anything else here, so that would be a miss, right? One that's not on your sheet. You're going to gain 1 Elan.
Oh, cool.
So you can factor that in.
So that's 5 Elan now.
Same.
Oh.
I really feel like teleport is the better idea here now, because I don't think I'm intelligent enough to use True Sight effectively. Like if I tried to cast at level 2, 3, 4, I would just not.
I think teleport
and,
makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that with teleport, I can at least guarantee using my Elan that I can teleport something 30 feet. So I think that's
Mhm.
what I'm gonna take.
Cool, perfect. Well, and you were doing some swashbuckling last time. I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Can you teleport an unwilling creature?
Yes, if they don't get away from your attempt to teleport them. So you know
Cool.
they'll make some rolls to try to avoid it, and you could potentially do stuff like teleport a bonfire into the air above somebody, or you know something like that.
Oh, see now you're just sealing the deal here. I could teleport anything.
I don't think that you could. I don't think you could automatically teleport, for instance, the floor out from under someone.
Well, why not?
Because the floor itself would resist. They would have some strength because you would be cutting it, you know. But if somebody was standing on a platform that was, you know, the size that you could easily teleport, then sure you could do that. That sort of thing. We'll have to do rulings. I'm not gonna. There's so much you could do with it. I'm not gonna try to get into every possible detail.
What is an R+1 potency attack?
So the R is the risk of the spell.
Right, I know that.
Okay, which one are you looking at?
This is Fireball.
Which
I just
spell?
don't know what a potency attack is. Like, what does that mean for the attack?
So that okay, that's a good reason for me to go back over this, because we were dealing with mostly like minion type characters last time. We didn't get into the way damage works very much. You either did enough damage to pretty much knock them out, or kill them, or you didn't. This so far, but if you look at the um, the weapons here, which I'm trying to put in my screen, they have a damage multiplier, and a simple weapon like a rock you hit somebody with, a small knife, that sort of thing, has a damage multiplier of 1, all the way up to big weapons that use both your arms, like a great sword or battle axe. Those, spontoon, naginata, those things are going to do a multiplier of 4. And this multiplier is going to be applied to the number of matches you get when you attack somebody. So if you attack somebody and you got 4 matches against them, and with a multiplier of 4 weapon, that's potentially 16 points of damage, and they would have to, of course, they would try to resist that, and that they could reduce it by applying their matches against you. But assuming they had no matches, so this is a sort of best case scenario, you're doing 16 points of damage. They have to absorb that with their elan, or crossing off their abilities, or probably just die, because that's a huge amount of damage. So your attack would be R+1. So if you took a risk of 3 on that spell, it would act as a weapon with the 4 times multiplier.
Okay.
I feel like that okay was I didn't understand any of that, and I'm
No,
just going
I
to wait
got
to
it.
see what happens.
It is the multiplier of the spell.
Yeah, Sullivan gets that shit. Hey, GM, I have a problem.
Okay.
All right. So first off, keep that parsimony of the bourgeoisie up, please.
Okay, sure.
So first off, I noticed that looking at that sheet, what I'm wearing is a cloak. And if you remember in like the very first episode, I said, oh, it says protect 1 on my sheet. I wonder why it says that.
Right.
But it shouldn't. It should say protect -1, because
and the reason it says protect 1, I recalled from when we built that, these protections are for a different system. In Faustrolog, pretty much everything is positive. So
Okay.
-2 here is actually 0. -1 is 1.
Okay.
0 is 2, etc. So you would add 2 to
all
all
right,
of these.
perfect. Because I was gonna say, based on looking at that, I was gonna take a spell instead of the linothorax, because the linothorax gave me a protection of 0. But if it gives me a protection of 2, then I will keep it. All right, perfect. Thank you.
I'm glad you asked this, because if you were wearing your linothorax, even if you didn't make any matches and you took that 16 points of damage, the linothorax would absorb 2 of those.
Right.
And the way that
And then instead of being mutilated to death, you would just be torn to death.
Yes, exactly.
You would, yeah, your corpse would be recognizable instead of absolutely destroyed. But the way this is not a multiplier, but your additional matches will help protect you. So if
For
you
sure.
had rolled 2 matches in an attempt to avoid the hit, as well as your protection of 2, then you would take 4 fewer points of damage.
Hold
Gotcha.
on just a second.
So,
So-
I need to update.
Hold on. I
This for
think
Faustrolog.
that my stuff is wrong maybe then, because I have, let's see. I'm wearing a helmet, van braces, and greaves. It says it's
So-
+1, but that's supposed to be a +3.
No, helmet. So I'm sorry. Everything here, these suits of clothing are +2. All right,
Okay.
but these additions, no, they are what they say.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
So
this
hold on, let me
one-
find my other one.
You need a helmet, van brace, and greaves to get a +1. If
Okay.
you just had a helmet, you wouldn't get +8.
Okay, so I'm wearing a brigandine. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, brigandine. So that would be a protection of 3.
3. Oh, okay. So +3.
I can't believe you have any problem with this chart, Eric. God, you're so dumb.
Okay, and I'm also wearing. Yeah, I also have a Targe, which
All right,
is
all
a
right.
plus.
Criticism taken on the chart.
Okay, so my shield is actually a +1 though.
Right, your shield
Okay.
applies a +1, and your helmet, van braces, and greaves are
Is +1.
So
and
if
then,
you're
okay, so
using-
all right, I was right because, or my calculation was right. I said I had a +5, and I do actually have a +5. It's just my the armor value of that one thing was wrong. I just need to change
right,
it
the
to
brigandine.
be a
Yeah.
3. Okay. Okay, we may
Yep.
continue.
All right, excellent. Well, we've leveled up. We've got everything that you guys were doing as far as the level up goes. I want to take a moment to explain the action economy, but before we go there, are there any other questions about leveling up? And then, actually, are there any comments? Are you happy, sad about this? Does it seem like a reasonable way to level up in the future?
It was good.
I
got
feel
good
like
stuff.
I am incredibly more powerful than I was before this.
Right.
Because
And that's the level 2 effect that you get in D&D, right? All of
Right.
a sudden you have double hit points, and everything.
right, yeah. In the future, these are going to be, it'll be the same upgrade potentially, but it'll feel less powerful.
Right,
Because right
right.
now I got 1 extra Vita, I got 2 extra Elan, and a spell. Like that's a
Yeah.
lot for one
That's a
level
lot.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain about it.
No, it's awesome.
No.
Yeah, I feel good too. I'm
I'm gonna start teleporting people off the edge of the boat.
I can't wait. As long as it's not me.
Hey, Vok, come here. I want to try something.
Tie the rope on.
You're gonna have like a sport to see how far you can teleport the golems. Oh, that one went really far. I'd say that's 35 feet easy. All right. Okay, so let me try to explain the action economy.
Okay.
And I formalized this a little bit. I think it was Sully had a very good point here that it's hard to understand. So there are 4 different kinds of actions. They are called snaps, moves, deeds, and wards. Okay? And I don't like using points for things, but I think the easiest way for us to understand this is going to be to use action points, sort of like the original Fallout game.
Yep.
Every round that you have, you're going to start with 1 action point. And then every match you have on your roll adds action points to that.
Okay.
But the actions involved with those, for instance, if the action you were attempting was, to survive, and you had that skill, then you would really only be able to add your intellect and your thew to your attempt to survive.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain that a little better, hopefully. When you're on your turn, you're going to tell me what you're going to do, just like you have been. And that is generally going to translate into one of these skills. It doesn't have to. It might just be, an ability check, essentially. But generally, one of these skills will apply. Hopefully more than one, and we choose the one that applies best. And the successes, the matches that you have within that attempt are going to apply to your desired outcome. But you have other matches, okay? And those can potentially be used for other things. They can't be used for your desired outcome because you can't If you're going to clash and you're going to knock somebody off his feet, your intellect isn't going to help with that. It's just not. So that is you're going to get more action points, but then you have to spend them, essentially based on their color, based on the aspects with which they're associated, the abilities with which they're associated. All right, let me go back, and maybe this will make even a little more sense, or start making some sense. Each of these has a cost. A snap costs nothing. These are quick actions. This is very much like a free action in D&D. If you went crazy about, yes, saying a sentence is a free action. So if I were to say 20 sentences, that would also be free because it's 20 times 0. That, at some point there's obviously you're abusing it.
Yeah,
so
don't monologue before you try to kill the big bad guy.
Or score.
Exactly. Right.
Yes.
just one cold, Arnold Schwarzenegger comment. Moves. So one action point moves you to your movement rate. And remember that you start every round with an action point.
Mm-hmm.
So if nothing else is going on, at the very least you could move. Deeds, this is most of what we do. So every round when you're telling me what you want to do, this is really generally the deed you want to accomplish. You want to stab somebody, you want to swing around on a rope, that sort of thing. The difference between moves and deeds could be a little subtle. If you're going to climb a flight of stairs, that's a move. If you're going to climb 30 feet of ship's rigging, that's more of a deed. You're doing something heroic and unusual. So it may, we may have to quibble a little bit about what's a move and what's a deed. But generally, if it's something that, the hero in a movie would have to spend more than 1 or 2 seconds on, it's not just he walks across the screen. It's like he's clambering up the rigging, in order to shoot from the crow's nest down to the deck or something like that. So deeds, they can cost really any number of action points, but you need at least 2. So if you're going to attack somebody, you'll need at least 2 action points to do that. And remember, you start the round with 1, so that means you need at least 1 success on something, 1 match on something else in order to complete the attack, which is exactly what we have been doing, but I haven't been explaining it this way. So if you get more matches, then you can potentially succeed more on your deed, or you could use that match for a move or something else. All right, and then the last thing is a ward. A ward is sort of like a reaction in D&D,
Mm-hmm.
but in D&D you have reactions essentially. You have 1 reaction for free every time.
Mm-hmm.
What the ward is in Faustrolog is different. Any match that you haven't used in one of these during your turns immediately is available for use as a ward.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's cool.
And this gives you a little bit of armor against the fact that the initiative system is still kind of in flux, and it's not clear whether going first or last makes much difference.
Right.
I kind of want that to be the case, that it's essentially everything's more or less happening at once. So your wards do 2 things. Until your next turn, not including your next turn, but
Right.
until your next turn, you can use these wards as a match on basically anything that you can make an even half-assed reason for using them. So if you're in a fight, a sword fight, and you got an intellect match, well, you couldn't use that for your deed. Whether your deed succeeded or not, you couldn't use the intellect match for your deed.
Right.
And unless you thought of something real quick to use it for, it would just immediately become a ward.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your opponent swings at you and connects. Well, the first thing you can do is say, well, I'm going to use this intellect match I got to defend myself. And what that would mean is you read his body language, you saw the slash coming, you don't take as much damage. You subtract 1 match from his attack. So this is how these things, like we were talking earlier, they sort of add to your defense. This is how they do it. They subtract from the attacker's successes. So if you wanted to, you could just spend a whole round warding, doing nothing else, and would very likely mean you're not going to take any damage. That's basically like you're taking full cover.
That's
You're just
actually awesome, because I could go in, be frontline, and just not do much damage myself, but I would also not just get obliterated by
Right.
standing in front of a bunch of guys trying to keep my teammates alive.
Exactly. Yeah. What we want to do is make every match count. So this is how you do that, and you can come up with any way of doing that. If you've got, how do you defend yourself in a sword fight with Verve? You taunted them. You feinted. You tricked them. There's lots. It's not very hard to explain how these might make the difference between a slash in the neck and a slash in the arm, or something like that. So those wards, until your next turn, they apply one additional match against any foes. Now, if nobody scored any hits against you, then they're still on the table. You didn't use them. You had one more chance to use them, which is during your next turn, each of these wards becomes advantage. You can use advantage. You can use any match from your previous turn as advantage on your new one. And what that means is you get to re-roll one die. Unless you had, let's say there were 3 matches last round that you didn't use. Well, then on the next round, you get to re-roll 3 dice.
Wow.
And those, with our roller, we'll have to do an honor system and say, okay, well, these are the dice I'm re-rolling, then re-roll. That's fine. Physically, if we have physical dice, you would just pick up those 2 or 3 dice or whatever they are and re-roll them. But this gives you the ability to re-roll at least one die that you needed. You need to come up with a reason to explain. And you have the important thing is you have your whole turn since last time to do this. So last game, what we were doing is, okay, you got this match, tell me how you can use it. And then there was some, back and forth, and that added to crunch, that added time. What happens this now is whenever you walk away from your turn with spare matches, well, that's just candy. And you get to spend the rest, everybody else's turn while they are fighting or whatever. You get to spend that time thinking what you're going to do with those matches.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like it. It's really awesome.
Cool. Okay, great. So let's see what this means. If you got a match on all your Vita abilities and you got a double lodestar, you got a match on a luck match on your lodestar, that would be 6 additional action points. So you would have 7 action points. And what you could do then is all the snaps you want. You could do a double move. Then you've got 5 action points left. You could do 2 different attacks. You could attack one guy here and one guy there, and then you could still put an action point in your pocket as a ward. So that's an example from a big action film where all of a sudden Errol Flynn is dancing across the tables and stabbing left and right and cutting candles out of the candelabras and everything else. So when the dice are in your favor, things go really well. When they go terribly, you get no matches at all. You can still move with your 1 action point or ward with your 1 action point, and you can do all the snaps that you want. So you could move, to change where you are on the battlefield, or the ward would just be essentially I'm holding up my shield, or I'm dodging, I'm doing some sort of taking cover.
Okay. Quick question. Are there attacks of opportunity in this game?
Okay, yes. You can do that with a ward. So this is like Overwatch in XCOM or whatever. You could use your ward as an attack of opportunity if it made sense.
Okay.
So I think that, if you had an intellect match in your pocket and you were going to attempt an attack of opportunity, it would have to be something intellect related. So like a spell, maybe. But you could spend that match as an attack for that. Let's think about this. I think you would need, for like an actual attack, like a deed, you would. Let's go ahead and decide. Do we want attacks of opportunity where people move in and out and they can actually get attacks with just 1 match? I don't think so. I don't think attacks of opportunity should be easier than attacks of intent, right?
Right.
So you would need to spend 2. If you wanted an attack of opportunity, you could, but you would need 2 matches in your pocket to do that.
Okay.
And if you've already spent all your matches earlier in the round, then no, you wouldn't have an attack of opportunity.
Okay. So
And
there's
hopefully
going to
that
be a
kind
little
of
more
makes sense to me.
planning involved in combat for this game, and that's fine. Uh, there's nothing wrong with having a little more dedication to your craft and trying to predict what the enemy's going to do. So
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can really mine that. That you guys will like it. But if you don't, we'll almost certainly change the mechanics. But overall, this seems okay, though.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
guys are happy with this?
for sure.
All right. Now, there's one thing that has come up that I still don't have any way of handling. Well, two things. The way luck works, you really need a double for
Yeah.
it
Right.
to make any difference.
Yep.
And it can be sad when you get a double that doesn't apply to you.
Mhm.
There's a house rule. It's even more house rule than everything else I just did. That I
The
think-
entire
I think
thing
that
is
we
a
can-
house rule.
Right. That I think we can try if you guys want. The only I don't want in normal combat that a single match on luck makes any difference.
Mhm.
Right.
They both dice have to come up together because luck needs to be rare.
Mhm.
It's a special category. But if you get a double match on luck, and it doesn't apply to you, but it applies to some other friendly, we can hand that as a single match to that friendly. Do you want to do that? We don't have to do that. But so, Mark, you've got three.
I do.
You've got a lodestar and what's your lodestar?
Let me look again. My lodestar is Juno is my lodestar.
Juno.
Yep.
Okay. And you've also got soul. Right?
Soul. Right.
You got soul.
I've got
All
soul.
right. So, Eric, do you have soul on your sheet?
Yes, it is my lodestar.
Oh, okay. That's your
Ooh.
lodestar.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, okay.
That might be better. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if someone
it's their
rolls your
lodestar.
lodestar, because
Right.
I'm gonna talk a little shit right here. I feel like just handing out other people's luck just because it's a match is kind of a little too far. But if it's your lodestar, I feel like that might be a little bit of a counterbalance because it's going to happen even more rarely.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Well,
but
hold on
I'm
though.
okay.
Let me be devil's advocate. What if
All
it's
right.
your bail?
Ooh. That could be fun.
That could be bad.
Yeah.
Like I can roll your bail pretty easily. That means that I could roll 3 people's bail, and if Matt plays, I can roll 4 people's bail. I don't like that.
Yeah. So do we want to just take the good or take the good and the bad?
No,
or
I don't.
not
I don't
try
want
to-
to take either.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
if we don't
thinking-
take both, we don't take neither.
I agree.
Take neither.
I agree. I think it's
Okay.
either all or nothing, and I'm
Okay.
leaning toward nothing because that was my
Yeah,
original.
because
deal.
bail, it's just too. I mean, lodestar seems like, oh yeah, that's awesome, but I've rolled a lot of matches, and I don't know what everybody's bail is, but I've rolled a lot of matches in luck that I don't have on my sheet.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we'll leave it as is. We're not going to house rule the luck yet.
Okay.
If you guys feel like it might be more fun to have, more luck events, that's when we can do it.
I would say that it might be interesting, and I don't know how all the encounters and stuff happen, but like in D&D and some of the free league games, there is a idea of like layers or things that can happen based on where the location is or the mood in the situation. And it would be kind of cool that in some situations matches for one character do affect another character.
Mhm.
But I would think that would be a rare situation. That would be something where like you are, maybe you're in a particular plane of existence or in like a an evil creature's lair, and they happen to have a aura of bad luck or something, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Yeah.
Another place where a little more mundane where this could potentially apply is something that we just haven't done much of yet, which is an aid, an assistance
Oh yeah,
situation.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, if two of you guys are trying to haul up, I don't know, a poorly tied off lifeboat, then you could
Yeah.
you could add your Thu successes together.
Yeah. Or my bail.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Everything should matter in an assist role. Yeah, for sure. That's good.
All right, awesome. So we've got time for some more adventuring. Shall we push on?
Sure.
All right. Before we go too far, I think that it's fine for us to say that there was enough time for Logan to get completely drunk.
Yes.
And he's down there mispronouncing sea shanties.
But also,
you mean
don't
he's
forget
saying
that,
she shanties? Sorry, go ahead.
What's that, Sully?
I don't remember who it was. It was McPherson or Carson or Larson was in the brig.
Carson and Larson are dead. McPherson's in the brig.
McPherson's in the brig. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's crying into his peach fuzz.
Yes.
Some of you guys had set attributes. You had been slashed or hurt or whatever.
Yes.
We need some. The way that I'm going to do this is we'll need some sort of attempt to salve them, to unset them, and this can be any sort of a medical success. So we're going to want to do that soon. For anybody who has.
Oh yeah, I am hurt
and if you're,
bad.
Now, is that an intellect roll?
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, in just a moment. It's an aid roll, which is Thu modified by intellect.
That's right.
Oh.
So the and actually, I think this is going to be. We'll do this as an example of our assistance mechanic. So both the doctor and the patient will roll.
Okay.
And we will add up those successes.
Well, I have aid, and my intellect and Thu are pretty good, but I have one crossed out on my intellect and one crossed out on my.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe it makes sense to try to heal the doctor first.
Yeah. I can try to heal you. I have aid, and I only have one crossed out on my intellect.
Wait, how many aids do we have?
We have 2 aids.
All right. But they're undetectable.
I could retcon and add to my Thu instead of my verb.
Yeah.
The thing you need to worry about is I am fairly promiscuous. So who is the initial person giving aid, and who is contracting it?
It's just worse and worse. We can always rely on Mark to just. It got nasty.
I feel like I need to apologize for starting that, but yes.
I know.
Like I was just gonna leave it after the one, but Mark was like, "No, we can roll with this."
Yeah.
But I only have 3. I have 3 Thu and I don't have aid, so it's just 3.
That's fine.
Okay.
I can sleep.
So you would probably be the one to start, Ellison. You would try to treat one of these other guys, and then whether you succeed or fail, then that person will try to treat one other person, and then somebody will try to treat him. Before we do any of that, all your elan has been regained.
Oh, awesome.
So you leveled up and you regained all your elan has gone back to maximum. And this is the new maximum, remember?
Right.
Almost everybody should have slightly higher max elan.
Ellison, come here. I will guide your hand.
Now these set attributes, we're going to get one attempt to fix each one, and then we'll need another game day before another attempt can be made. So you may not recover any of them. It'll be up to the dice.
Come, Ellison. I'll show you where to touch.
I'm not
Ellison
feeling well about this.
And Griffith make a roll. Griffith, your Thu and intellect successes count. Ellison, your Thu success only. Or actually, I would accept either Thu or intellect. You can choose.
How about neither? Because I rolled alacrity and verve. Like,
Okay.
I'm real.
All right,
I talk a
that's
big
fine.
game, but I'm not actually good at this.
Ellison, you
All
were
right.
holding the implement correctly, very deftly, with your alacrity, but you're a little pushy with it.
Well, maybe if you didn't get so banged up, this wouldn't be a problem. All right.
I
Yeah.
got one success on 2.
Okay. So any one of your set abilities is now risen.
All right, that would be
It
my
is risen again.
my intellect. That M,
You choose.
whatever that is. Well, I only have 1. That's damage. So.
I have 2. I'm in dire need of healing.
Yes. So I
need
will
healing.
now take these bandages. Because hold still, Vok. I won't hurt you.
All right.
So I'm rolling 2, right?
Griffith and Vok both make a roll. Yeah. I think both of you guys have 8, don't you?
Yeah.
So any thews or intellect successes apply. Matches. I want to call them matches, but I can't help but sometimes call them successes.
I rolled Verve.
All right, you have a ward. If anybody attacks you, you can use that to defend yourself.
I rolled soul for luck, and that's it.
I rolled.
That
So
applies.
I rolled one of my lodestar, and you rolled one of your lodestar. So together.
No. I don't have. That's not a lodestar. I rolled a match on soul. That's just a luck.
Yeah, so you get, that's one risen attribute, Vok. So you can choose
Okay.
any of your set attributes, one of them rises.
I think, Vok, for us to repair you more, you're gonna have to disrobe.
That's not in the rules anywhere. Just so you guys.
Sounds fine to me.
What the hell?
Uh,
I'm just spam rolling my dice, and I have yet to get an intellect success.
All right, James.
get all those bad rolls out. Shake them out.
Yeah, get this.
All right.
That's how it works.
So that's your immediate physical needs. Is there anything else about the attitude of the ship? Remember, the sails had billowed out, and you can see the Titan, or whatever it is further away now. It's far enough away that it would take you probably at least half an hour, probably more like an hour, to get the ship turned around and go back to it if you wanted to for any reason. The lifeboat is in tow. It's tied by a rope to the ship. It's not on deck in the rack where it should be.
Right.
The ship has been searched once, sort of casually, for provisions, but you've not done much else with the ship. And it's McPherson is in the brig. The 4 golems. Who was it? Was it Vok last
Vok.
time who remembered one magic word? So
Yes.
you know one magic word for commanding the golems, and it seems to be sail, because they're not directing the ship or anything. None of them are at the helm, but they are, almost managing to keep the mainsail, the mainsail in trim, and probably also the jib sail as well. So they're enough to operate 2 of the sails on this boat, not all of them, and they don't know anything about steering or whatever. These are just sort of rote mechanics that they're going through, and you don't know the word to stop them either, so you don't know how long this is going to go on. But anyway,
Can I,
they are.
Is there any documentation or something I can study or?
You could check. You'd start frisking these guys or whatever. I mean, most.
Is there a
ancient
golem
spellcasters-
manual?
Yeah, most ancient spellcasters did include a manual.
Yeah.
With their golems rolled up like in their shin.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's
Ellison.
like engraved in their forehead or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
It could be. The boat, the ship has not been. You guys don't know everything that's on the ship. I guess I'll just tell you that. But I don't know that you want to. But you do all have your staked out berths, and you have the brig. You're familiar with that. And I can answer any other questions about the ship that you have.
Okay, Ellison. Ellison, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I'm trying very hard to roleplay, and no one will shut up.
Hmm.
Ellison, where is the gem that we procured from the large floating man.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, we need to get over there right now. Come with me to the lifeboat. And I'm just gonna run off toward the lifeboat.
Oh, okay. Um, large golem man, come and hoist this boat. He's not listening to me. Vak,
No, he's not.
get him to listen to me. We need strength.
Cannot tell them to do anything except sail.
Well, both of you get over here and help me. We need to get this before it just falls into the ocean.
Yes. I have this weird feeling that you should be able to just teleport it up to the ship. It's very strange.
You know. Now that you mention it, I feel like I had a dream where I was doing that. I can try.
I had a dream where you were doing something too.
God, it just never stops.
You know, I've never really been into the whole furry thing, but
it's my fault for putting hedonism on the list of motivations.
And for me to interpret it the way I did.
Yeah, I know. After I've told you like 5 times, it's perfectly valid Epicurean philosophy. You're like, nope, I'm a skunk, but I have sex with everything.
I do have a question. It's very important for all of you who know the gods the way that you do. I know Ra is a very powerful god.
raw
And,
or raw?
Ra. Yes, he may be raw, but I am sort of concerned with do gods see all and know all? Like, should I be concerned about the god Condom?
Yes, you definitely should be concerned about Condom. You should involve him in all your rituals.
Okay. Condom, please guide my hands as I pull on this long, tough, rope. Yes, this very ropey thing.
Quite ropey.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so how about Ellison and Griffith? Give us a roll. Ellison, you're perfectly within your wheelhouse to cast your teleport if you want. I'll let Griffith assist you anyway in moving that closer, into moving the gem into a better position. So you guys can both roll.
Here's what I intend to do before I really roll. I'm going to try to pull this thing up, and if shit looks like it's going sideways, I'm going to attempt a teleport. And, if I see it's falling or slipping, I'm going to try to teleport. If we just can't get it out of the water, I almost said can't get it up. I'm just gonna let it ride, and we'll try again.
This never happens.
Never had that problem.
Just so you, or at least if the way I'm remembering it, you did a fantastic job of tying that knot.
Yes.
So it seems pretty, well held. So yeah, if you guys start rolling banes and slipping the rope, then
Banging
maybe
it
you need to
against
try
the-
the teleport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like while it's in my tool set, I am more of a big brawny, I want to show off kind of guy.
Yes.
So that's what I want to do.
Okay. This is arguably a flourish. You could also make a case that it's a clash, but really this is more like wrestling, more like a feat of strength.
Mhm.
So, guys, make a roll. If you've got flourish, your verve counts. In all cases, your thew counts, and of course your luck counts if you hit it.
It also counts against you if you don't.
I luckily rolled a luck I don't have, and do not
All
have
right.
any. I have 0 matches.
Well, I
Okay.
put my arm around you. That is my verve, which is a map. I squint and see exactly how hard to pull upon the rope. That was my intellect match. And I got a thew match as well.
Okay, all right. And do you have flourish?
I do not have flourish. Why would I have
Okay.
flourish? That seems like something a strong man would do.
Yeah. With your thew match, you've got the gem up against the side of the ship now. It's moving up. You're going to need one more match to take advantage of it. No, you're going to need one more match to get it on deck. And the reason I just said advantage is because you recall you're going to have 2 advantage in your next roll.
That is
So you
correct.
guys make another roll.
All right.
Okay, this time I'm really gonna flex it as I pull. I really want to show that I'm better than everybody else.
Yep.
And it paid off.
All
I
right.
have 2 matches. Thew and
Okay,
a
good.
library.
All right.
I'm gonna re-roll because I got nothing in my Thew, but I have advantage. I'll go with that. And I got a Thew match, and I think that's all we needed, right? Was 2 or 3?
Easily. Yep. All right. It is perfectly unharmed. It is on deck. It is beautiful and hypnotic. It's about the size of a coffee table with no legs. It is. You had removed it from its setting, so it's just the opal. Unlike most opals, it is faceted, which means it's got angles in its cut. It's not just a smooth, round polish.
So I want to quickly look around and find like some sort of covering, and I want to cover this thing up before I try to drag it down below deck where people might see my precious.
Okay, tarp is easily had.
Why shouldn't I have it?
Give me a roll anyway for this, and I know this seems a little crunchy, but give me a roll and tell me if you get any match on anything, or especially your bail. Tell me if you get your bail.
Wait, who's rolling?
You.
Sorry.
Allison. Yep.
Sorry,
The person
I was
who is
reading
trying
something.
to hide their precious.
My bad. Okay, so I rolled almost a match on bail. Verve.
Okay, that's fine. So you don't have any trouble wrapping this thing up, and maybe you have successfully hidden it from everybody besides Griffith, or at least nobody seems to take too much notice of this as you work on it. There's the from one of the missing boats there is a canvas tarp. You could easily repurpose that for covering it up. As you cover it up, you see a reflection, what you think is first a hallucination or maybe some sort of magical effect, because the whole thing seems to be swirling and hypnotic.
Oh shit!
But you realize it's actually a reflection in one of the facets of an upside down version of an upside down and entirely alive version of the Titan that you guys had just seen. It leads you to be startled, to look up, and you see in the distance over the corpse of the Titan another one. Now, we don't know that these are Titans, but this is the word that you guys have come up with.
Yes.
Yeah. These are not named Titans. This isn't Kronos and Gaia or whatever. But
Or is it?
a Titan is coming down out of the sky, dressed the same as the one who's fallen. There are wings on his sandals that are slowly flapping. He has a spear in one hand and a hoplon, a large shield on his other arm, and he's moving down slowly out of the sky over the corpse of the Titan in the distance. There's no indication that he's taking any note of you guys.
I'm going.
Tell them to sail. Tell them to sail.
We need to leave right now. We need to leave right now. We need to drag this thing under deck. We can't let him see this thing. See what we have. We need to get this away now.
Fuck! Say sail. Say sail.
Fuck.
That's all they do is sail. Sail harder.
More sail. Sail more.
Okay. One of you guys needs to take the helm. The McPherson is the only one with the helm experience on this ship, and he's in the brig.
It's got to be
one-
Bach. He's the one that can do that, but I don't
Bach
know where-
has a mariner background, right?
Yes, and I don't know where Sully went to. I think he may have
I'm here.
dropped off. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I think you need to take control of this, and I'm gonna drag this under some sort of cover, even if it's not under the deck, just under something, so this somewhat Titanish figure would not potentially see us over here screwing with their stuff.
Yeah, and I will go and try to probably at some point when it's my turn to use Ken to figure out how to load the ballista.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Ellison, give me one more roll for stowing this thing. Even if as long as you don't bail on this, you're gonna get it somewhere below decks.
Aww.
If you succeed very well, it'll be well stowed.
Push it downstairs.
I
Vok,
achieved...
give me a roll for helming, and Griffith, give me a roll for the ballista. Ellison, what'd you get?
I got a match on Thew and Alacrity.
Okay, this thing weighs about 200 pounds. It's very heavy, but you are able to maneuver it onto the edges of the ship, the steps, going down below decks. So you can easily manage to get this under the deck. You realize that if you weren't careful with it, especially if this is actually an opal, you could break it. If you just had dropped it down the steps, for instance, it would break. But you're sliding it down the corners of the steps. You manage easily to get it stowed wherever you like within reason, which means it has to be a part of the ship that you've already explored. So it could be under your bunk. It could be, and you don't even have to tell me. You can decide where it is.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just mostly concerned about getting it out of sight of those above deck. Maybe just shove it under the stairs or something, and leave it covered up. Make it look like it's just cargo or something.
Yep. Easily stowed and easily battened, so it's not going to slide around.
Excellent. I'm not concerned about my companions knowing it's here. I'm just concerned about others, not in our immediate party.
Yeah, who may or may not be hovering in the sky.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, those folks. Okay. All right, Vok.
What am I using to pilot the ship?
This is actually a marshal role. Captaining a ship is going to be like commanding a group. But I would take if you want to suggest a different role, I'm up for it, because I don't have a skill here.
I suggest whatever role means that my verb success matters.
Whoa, marshal totally means that.
Awesome.
So you got one verb success?
Yeah.
One verb match? Okay, cool. The boat is turning in the direction you want to go, Vok, which is what? You had been previously going southeast. So
I guess that way?
the Titan is northwest of you. Okay, so you resume under half sail, moving southeast. You're not going to be able to do any better than that with this crew, with this terrible crew.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Well, terrible in
I'm
terms,
right
in terms
here.
of size, not in terms of skill.
Right.
Yeah, in terms of size and also in terms of sea
Falling
legs.
from the mainsail.
These guys don't know how to sail. You're the only one. You have a little. Well, if you don't have a little contempt for them, you're being charitable, because they don't know their way around a ship very well. Okay, and Griffith, you were working on the ballista.
So we got to talk about this.
All right.
I believe we rolled too many times today
Okay.
because
Because you got to bail now.
some part of my fur has apparently been caught up in the ballista as the only thing that I got that is on my sheet are two dice that match the same thing.
Oh my God. This is like the
It's a
third
comet.
time you've done this. It's
I
amazing.
feel like you just need to stop. You just need to stop what you're doing and ask for help.
All right. So I like that suggestion that your fur is all caught
It is
up in the
very
in the bowstring.
possible. I would suggest this. It is very possible that I do not know that my tail is caught in the bowstring.
You gonna give it a test fire? Make sure it's working?
And
Maybe
I
just
have
dry fire it?
successfully loaded it, is what I'd like to say.
Okay, I love that. I wasn't going to do that to you, but I love that.
I wouldn't do it to myself either, but honestly, it's the only match I have.
Oh god.
Yeah. So I've got these tokens that I can't hand out very well yet, but they
Right.
look like matchsticks.
Oh yeah.
So give yourself a matchstick for that.
Okay.
This is an advantage you can use whenever you want. You can reroll any die any one die in the future, as long as we remember you have it.
And
All right,
remember,
so
you
I'm
can
gonna
use it
put-
when you roll your bail again.
Yes, you can. You can use it to prevent launching yourself at that Titan.
Well, that's the whole thing, is that what I'm going to use it for is when I inevitably miss shooting the Titan with the ballista and my body, I'll use it so I hit.
Okay.
You're just gonna splat yourself on it.
With either my body or the ballista.
You go
Bolt.
flying out there with the ballista bolt in your
Right.
hands like a spear.
Woohoo! Oh, well, I can fly, so it's fine.
All right. So you do succeed in loading the ballista with apparently no problems whatsoever.
Excellent. Yes. It was easy.
Yeah, it was really easy, and you feel light. Like you can't even feel the weight of your limbs, especially your tail.
Yeah.
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 All
Well,
right.
I'm invigorated. I've never loaded
Yeah.
something. I've never had a shaft this large
You
in
get
my
used to it.
hands.
Why did I put hedonism on the sheet? All right. Okay. So as you look down the sights of the ballista, you see, and Vox, easily from the aft castle, you see the Titan in the air bend over, and so
Wait.
he's flying as if he's standing on a floating platform.
Mhm.
It seems to be the wings and the sandals that are moving him around.
Oh.
And he
cool.
leans forward a little bit over the corpse of his,
Fallen-
countryman or
yeah.
whatever,
Clarifying
his
question.
fallen comrade.
Clarifying
Mhm.
question. Is he bending over away from us?
Ooh.
You're seeing him profile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. And he very solemnly puts his hoplon on his back, his large shield on his back. He slides his spear behind it on his back,
Mhm.
and he holds one hand up high, almost as if he's like waving, but he's not waving it, to his friend below,
Mhm.
and another hand low, about at his waist level. Both of the palms are open. You really get the vibe that there's something magical going on out there.
Mhm.
All right, you guys can choose to interrupt or just watch in awe.
No.
Mm-mm. No, I don't
Keep
want
sailing.
to draw any attention to us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna whistle
Okay.
a little bit. Nothing to see here.
Nobody here but a sea skunk.
That's right.
All right. So the San Celeste moves slowly off again at half sail. As you watch, you see rise from the water beside the corpse a trident,
Mm.
and this rises out of the water. It is sized for use by a 200-foot tall creature, so it's about a 170-foot long trident.
Jeez.
It rises into the hand of the living Titan.
Mhm.
He holds it, whispers something to it, then raises it above his head, and it slowly moves up toward the clouds. A similar routine happens with a large shield. Comes up, and he sends it to the clouds, and you see the corpse of the Titan itself raised somewhat off the water, and you see that Titan is otherwise completely outfitted the same as the one that's in the air.
So he has a gem as well.
Yes, the one in the air has a gem
Oh
identical.
God.
We need to go back. We need
No,
another
no, no,
gem.
no, 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 no. We just want to hope that he does not realize that his buddy doesn't have.
Oh
a gem.
shit! What if these gems communicate? Mm.
Oh my God.
Oh, like air tags?
Oh shit! Does anybody have an iPhone on them? Throw it in the water right now.
Wait a minute, that's not my ship. Why is it beeping? All right. Wow. Okay. A billowing blue flame catches up above the body of the Titan.
Mhm.
Any few little sea animals that were trying to hang on are burnt away instantly.
Oh.
And then as it hovers, just as the fallen Titan hovers just above the waves, the flame consumes him into a bright blue smoke that spirals up again toward the clouds, and the living Titan essentially goes down on one knee and bows his head as this happens. So the whole body of the Titan and all of his accoutrements are consumed by this flame,
Okay.
while essentially his brother seems to be honoring him, sitting above him. The brother he's no longer. He has one hand over his heart,
Mhm.
and one hand at his chest, at his
All
collar.
right. That's a cool ritual. And then he just leaves,
I'm
right?
very concerned about the opal that we have below deck. I'm going to go down and just make sure it's not humming or glowing or vibrating or anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it covered. I don't want to uncover it just in case it's like it can see me or something.
Uh
If it's vibrating, Ellison, let me know.
huh.
Gonna come sit on the edge of it.
Like the clothes washer. All right. So, are you doing that alone? Are you getting anybody to try to help you with that? Are you being secretive?
No, I mean, I don't think it's anything I need help with. I'm not trying to be
Yep.
secretive. I just
All right.
feel like that's something I need to do.
Yep. I think it's a good idea. Give me a roll, and we'll decide if you get any matches. We'll decide what they mean.
I received a match on Verve. I'm sorry, Thu
Mm-hmm.
and Alacrity. I don't know how those would apply to this.
Alacrity.
Yeah.
I think what that means
clash with
is you think something's going on, but you don't know what that is. You can spend another round, make another roll with 2 advantage. Both of these will apply as advantage to your next roll if you spend extra time.
Yeah. Can I call damn it, what's the skunk's name?
Griffith.
Griffith. All I can remember is Vok. I'm gonna call for Griffith to come down and see if he notices anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
There's. Oh no! I've caught myself in the ballista.
What?
My tail is. Oh no! Should I to release it? Should I just fire the ballista?
Why don't you let me come help you get out of
Okay.
that? And I'm
Be careful.
gonna run up on the deck to do this, with the intention
right.
to eventually come back down.
Okay.
Now, the way that these temporary advantages work, we're going to just use that Thu and Alacrity to help you instead of you've been distracted.
my tail
so
out.
instead of helping you with what you were doing, those are going to help you
Yeah.
to get Griffith out. So
Yeah.
Griffith and Ellison, give me a roll, and if there are Ellison, you can re-roll up to 2 of those dice if you want.
I feel like Alacrity would be very helping in this.
Yes,
I
totally.
rolled an additional Alacrity match this one, plus my 2
Okay.
from last time.
Okay. All right. Did anybody get any Thu matches?
I did. I got my. God, I wish I could read that. I got. Looks like a man with his arms up. Pluto. I got Pluto.
Okay. Yeah, that's an invisible helmet.
I also. Oh, shit! I also got Ceres on Alacrity, and I matched on Soul. I got 2 souls.
Oh wow!
I know.
Okay.
It was a good. Considering last roll, this is a phenomenal roll.
I know.
And
All right.
I'm sorry, but I gotta take a screenshot of this because it does look like a penis.
Jeez. All right. So you very cleverly extricate yourself. You're going to have a fetching curl in the end of your tail, at least for the next week or so. But otherwise, you extricate yourself. You do not waste any ammo. You did not have to fire the ballista. The ballista is well armed, and as long as you, Mark, the player, can remember this, you are going to be able to load. You now know how to load ballistas the right way.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you're never going to have any trouble loading ballistas anymore. Now, hitting what you're shooting at, that potentially
Sure.
doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay, so
But I can load
I'm gonna tell him. Okay, now that you're done playing with the ballista, there's something going on with that gem that we brought. I need you to come take a look at it with me.
Great. Okay. Yes, I will. I mean, I will go down below.
So you don't know what is wrong with this gem, but you know something is wrong with this gem.
Mhm.
It does not look like it's in the right place. It does not look like the tarp folded around it is thin enough compared to the size of it. You're not even sure if the tarp could fold that much. It looks almost like what we would think of as like a vacuum pack. So it looks very strange to me. Both of you guys give me a roll, and we'll see based on what successes you get, what matches you get, we'll tell you what you learn.
I am not doing well. at all.
All right, what'd you get?
I got another Thu match, so I'm kind of in the same place I was before.
Well, I'm going to. Which Thu did you match on? Just so I know.
Mars.
Mars. Okay. All right. Any matches from Griffith?
I was very deftly able to make it down below decks. I got an alacrity.
Okay. Okay.
I did not stumble, even though I was holding my tail because it hurt a little bit.
Which alacrity did you get? Which
I got my new one. The
Chiron?
K, the Chiron, I guess. Yeah, the K. The circle K.
Okay. All right. Chiron, the Centaur, and Mars, the Warrior. You have the sensation. It's a vague sensation. You're both of you guys have some knowledge of magic, and your knowledge of magic did not prepare you for this. You've not learned anything about this in any of your past exposure, but you have the sensation that what you, Griffith, just witnessed. I think Ellison was below decks the whole time, but what you, Griffith, just witnessed was a warrior's funeral.
Right.
And you have the sensation that it would have been more appropriate for this gym to have been part of that.
Ooh.
You don't necessarily. This doesn't necessarily mean that it failed without the gym. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're, the fact that you took it is ever going to come back to haunt you in any way or shape or form. But it doesn't mean that those things aren't true either. So, you are uneasy. You feel like. Remember when you first found this guy, you were considering
Yes, as a deacon,
doing some last rites.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
and you feel like you may have effed that up to some degree by taking this this obviously valuable personal item. Also, you recall that the way that the living Titan was posed, he had his right hand over his heart on the left side of his chest, and he had his left hand on this same necklace at his collarbone. So he was covering it with his left hand when he did this.
I really feel like we're in an Indian burial ground situation at this point.
It's not good, Ellison.
So how do we make this right? Do we just hawk it? Just take it to the market? Sell it to someone?
Vok, did you want to do anything while they're deciding this and examining this? Are you still sailing away, or do you want to change?
I feel like I'm busy sailing.
Okay, all right. You go ahead and give me a roll and just tell me if you get any matches, and I'm going to tell you a bit about what you see. You're the only one above Zach.
I got a verve success, and a Thu success, and an intellect success.
Wow. Okay.
And
All right. So you're an occultist.
Yes.
You have seen infernal incinerations before, and you have seen sort of celestial pyres before. This is extremely impressive to you. When the ritual finishes, the kneeling Titan stands back up again and begins slowly to rise up toward the clouds. He's rising to the same, zenith destination as the trident went and as the smoke of his companion went, but he's rising more slowly. You are actually able to see that he is scrutinizing and seems bewildered to some degree by this fire. And he even casts about. He looks over his right shoulder, which is away from you, and he looks over his left shoulder, which is somewhat toward you.
oh God,
Oh no.
that's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, we've got 30 more minutes, and he didn't roll super great, so he definitely notices your ship, but he spends uncomfortably long staring at you. For a 200-foot tall flying man, even a second of being stared at is too much. And he's
okay,
staring
I
at you.
hoist our sail that has SRY in it in big blue letters.
Sorry.
Sorry, why? BBL. All right, he is He does not move toward you. He continues to rise, but he spends a lot of time looking at the San Celeste as
Nobody
you
move.
manage to put some more waves behind you.
Their vision is based on movement.
Keep on sailing.
So, Ellison, I think that we've done a bad thing here. I think that we have potentially, we may have a lost soul at some point. But one thing that is true in both the world of the Scald and the world of the Deacons is that shit happens.
Yep, I feel that.
Let's cover this thing up. We will, mea culpa, and sell it at the first place that we can sell it.
Yes, that I agree. Let's just leave it alone.
One
Nobody
more
knows it's
thing,
here.
Ellison. Let's not tell Vok.
Why shouldn't we tell Vok?
I was on board with telling it.
Vok is a little bit more. How should I say? Like, he's very much a duty person. Other than this mutiny that he has started with us.
Wow, thanks for choosing how my character is for me.
His background is that he never does anything wrong, and he's a very upstanding human being. But he's not a human being, which is strange.
You're just gaslighting your friend.
That's right.
Ellison is getting more and more confused.
I'm just gonna go with it.
What I'm saying is, let's not tell Vok that this thing was potentially a problem with the ritual, unless he like outright asks. Okay.
With my really good success, can I read into anything that the Titan's doing a little bit more?
You can ask me one question, and if it's reasonable, I'll answer.
Oh shit.
What was the purpose of the ritual?
Oh, that's a very reasonable question. You have the feeling that this Titan has fallen, and whether you're not sure why. It could just be because of all the sharks and other sea vermin, but he has fallen not in any glorious way. Maybe he fell in a glorious fight and his corpse was desecrated afterwards by these critters, or maybe he fell in an inglorious way. But it was a purification ritual. It was to allow his soul to return to Elysium or wherever it came from.
And clearly it was the sharks that pried the jewel from his necklace. And
thieving sharks.
Yes.
They're always like that. Yeah.
Yes, it was clearly the sea-based animals that desecrated the body, not any land
passing
lovers.
Ship or any other. None of that.
Yes.
That would be. Yeah. Yes. So he continues to rise into the clouds. It's very slow going, and he spends a lot of time looking at the San Celeste. But he's also looking elsewhere around. He doesn't change his path, though. Only his head is moving. The rest of him, his head and the wings on his sandals, slowly carrying him up.
He's got more important shit to do. He'll kill us later.
I hoist the missing textures flag.
I'm going to suggest that if we come in contact with him, we probably need to attack these sandal wings that keep getting mentioned repeatedly.
I think if we are in combat with the Titan, we have bigger problems than actually fighting. We should just run.
Well, I just mean that as we're running away, shoot the ballista at the wings.
Do you want to be destroyed by a Titan?
I mean, if I had to go out one way or another, I mean, I feel like that would be.
So I just want to say something, Eric. This is serious. This is Mark to Eric.
Okay.
I just leveled up. This is the first time I became level 2 in Faustrolog. I really don't want this to be the end of the podcast.
How many times did you play D&D, original D&D, and have to re-roll a character before you got to level 2?
Many, yes. But it's different. I never recorded my first edition D&D games, and also I'm pretty sure I cheated a lot in D&D.
Pretty sure I cheated too.
I was young. I didn't understand that sometimes failure
rules,
is good.
Right.
I also called initiative initiative, so we can talk about that later.
To Eric's point, I should have mentioned the fallen Titan also did have winged sandals on.
Damn it.
You didn't see them when you were there because they were in the water.
We could have had flying sandals, guys. We could have
You would
all
have
fit on
ridden
one
in
of
them
these
like in
sandals
Koopa
and had
Cars
a
or something.
we could have had a plane.
Yeah, it would have been like little helicopters.
I was gonna say more like a
Maybe,
helicopter.
maybe not, because the wings on the fallen Titan sandals were
Don't tell
all
us.
chewed away.
By those ravenous sharks.
Oh my gosh,
They
they're
looked a lot
living
like-
wings?
yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
gross.
yeah. They're not golden. They're actual living wings. So that's just another example of the desecration that happened to this fallen Titan,
That
and
poor
and
Titan.
another reason why his brother would want to undo that as
That
best
poor,
as possible.
poor Titan.
So right now, as we're sailing away, I want to go and look for some other stuff below deck, since there's nothing for me to do. I am not a sailor. I cannot assist at all. I want to go start exploring other shit. The most important thing that I would like to find right now, which is not on my sheet, is a hairbrush. I need to fix my tail.
Okay. Give me a roll for the search, and we will interpret it based on any successes that you get, any matches that you get.
I got a match on Lodestar and a match on Bale. Luckily, just one of each. Okay. All right. I'm dexterous again. I got that same thing, that the Chiron or whatever it is.
Okay, so what we're going to do for something like this, I think, is we're going to interpret this narratively rather than I very agilely discovered a hairbrush.
Right.
So what you got, Chiron? Okay.
Chiron, yeah.
So let's just really quickly look at
Yeah.
the
Let's look and see what Chiron.
aspect descriptors,
are.
because I don't
Yeah.
remember Chiron's descriptors very
Me
well.
either.
So help me interpret what you've got here. Kind, wise centaur.
Accidentally poisoned.
He died accidentally by poison. His symbol is a key. He is considered a key to knowledge. Teacher, archer. He was a maverick. Magister, that means a teacher, a very accomplished teacher. Injury. Verbs are healing, examining, training. Modifiers. Thoughtful, wounded, philanthropic. He is associated with empathic determination.
Well.
And there might be a bit about empathic determination in here. Yeah, empathic is associated with the element of water. That's fitting. And determination is associated with self-expressed constancy.
Yeah. I mean, if I can use it as a success, it sounds like that. Maybe it takes me, a long time, but I eventually find a brush. But I can do nothing else probably.
No,
until
I'd like to
nightfall.
say you definitely find a brush. That's not so hard. You find something else. Let's see. Healing. Let's say you find also some. You find what's essentially a stripped down sick bay.
Oh,
The people who have left used a part of the sleeping area as a sick bay, and they took most of the stuff with them, but they had remaining in there a creosote sterilized bandage. So you find a creosote bandage, and this could be used. Does anybody in the crew still have a set attribute?
No.
No.
A skill?
Okay.
I'm down an attribute.
Yeah. Okay, what's your attribute?
Oh.
That's your down.
It's Dew.
Do. Perfect. All right. You know that this would be a good dressing for Fox weeping wound.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, are you gonna? I guess you're gonna give that to him, or you're just gonna throw it overboard. Look what I found, Fox.
Go get it.
Can't have it.
Useless. I always wondered, does creosote soak bandages? Do they float? Let's find out.
Yeah, exactly.
A little salt water in your wound never hurt anything.
When I eventually get back up, I will. Actually, what I will do is I'll be excited that I found the brush. I will test it on my tail once or twice, and then I will head up and I will say to Vok, put the stabilizing ropes on the wheel. I need to bandage you.
While this is going on, I want to go
Ropes.
recover my rope and my crowbar and my grappling hook, all of which should be attached to the ship in various places.
Yeah, we're going to say whether that happened
Your
right now
crowbar.
or in between sessions. You get all that back.
Okay.
Your grappling hook is So
It
yeah.
did get magnetized, crushed, but it'll still work as a grappling hook.
So
Just an
yeah.
off balance.
I forgot about
Sullivan.
that.
So yeah.
Sullivan,
So,
there's
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to interrupt. No one would let me, which is fine. It just means I can cut out my track. So, yeah, Sullivan. Ships, old sailing.
Yeah,
well,
you gotta-
any
you get a
really any
rope, I
sailing
know.
ship. Okay, then why would you like ropes? Why are you giving me
Because
shit
I
about
don't
it?
trust ropes as much as I trust myself.
I know, but I don't think that I can do a good job bandaging you if you also still holding on to the wheel.
I'll just come hold the wheel and keep it from moving.
Actually, I trust the ropes.
You're an ass.
So, you will need to remove your shirt for this.
For
Um,
my arm wound?
It's an arm wound.
Sure
Trust-
it is.
trust
if
the
you want. It's an
doctor.
arm wound.
Trust the doctor. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was.
The gluteus muscle is the largest muscle in the body.
I thought it was a. I thought your buttocks got hurt. All right. I will creosote bandage your arm in a completely non-creepy sexual way.
All right.
I have
Although
Wait,
I do
non-creepy and sexual, or non-creepy non-sexual?
As far as you know, you should do a roll. Because as far as you know, non-creepy, non-sexual, however, does appear that I have an erection as I walk away.
Just terrible. Oh my god. Okay, Vok. If you're willing to tolerate all that crap, you can rise. You can
Ooh.
have risen one of your attributes.
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't
Eric's
think I
just as bad
rise
as
from
me.
that at all.
yeah. So your Thu is no longer set.
Nice.
Okay. Is there anything else that anybody wanted to do before
Before
we
we all
reach the
die.
end of the session?
Okay.
I start pushing you off cliffs.
Nope. Other than brush my tail, I'm gonna go in the captain's quarters and brush my tail.
So the brush worked quite nicely. You have the choice of either removing or exaggerating your ballista curls.
Yeah. I think I will fix them.
One thing, Vok, you are worried about is you're the only qualified sailor. You don't seem to have a way of stopping the golems from sailing, so you're not going to be able to heave to at night. So somebody's going to have to take the helm, or you guys are going to have to figure out something to do with the golems. That is clear to everyone, but it's clearest to Vok first. Your southeasterly passage is reasonably well maintained with the instruments on board. You don't really know where you're headed. You don't know what you're looking for. And McPherson is doing okay in the brig. You've got, I think we're going to say 4 weeks of rations left on the ship. You guys, I know it hasn't been a whole week in the game since last time we met, but you've been doing a lot of patching up and healing and dealing with wounded guys in the brig, that sort of thing. So you've got 4 weeks of rations left.
Okay.
Any plans you guys want to make, or are you just gonna wing it?
Just wing it, man.
Vok, are you still sticking to southeast? Are you going to change direction?
I think we were. I don't remember what it was, but there's some really good reason we were going southwest.
There's an archipelago. You expect southeast of where
We
you
should
are.
still go in that direction, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
We could do maybe shifts to keep the thing.
I mean, how long is it
Going?
going to take to get to where we're going?
You're not sure. You're under half sail. If you don't really screw up your navigation, you'll be there in 1 or 2 weeks, probably.
5 weeks. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but you don't really. You're not very well qualified in the navigation department, so it could take longer. How about let's do this? Let's let the day roll through.
Okay.
Everybody takes an 8-hour shift. So everybody give me a roll for your 8 hours at the helm.
Oh man.
Let's start with Griffith. Griffith, how did your
Yes.
8 hours go? Any successes?
Yes, I got intellect and an alacrity success. So
Okay. You are sure that you have stayed on course. You've done a good job with limited faculties. The golems give you no props at all for that. They're just going around doing their normal sailor stuff. They cannot keep. What they keep doing is furling one sail and unfurling another one.
Mhm.
They are in this sort of useless, repetitive loop
yes,
of doing sailor work.
I think that throughout the night I do try to give them orders too. I say like Kargi, which means absolutely nothing. Like,
Yeah.
okay. And I mark that out. Like I'm taking notes while I'm doing this. It's like, okay, so
Yeah,
Kargi's
good.
nothing.
Okay, all right. So do this. Try to remember that you have advantage if you ever try to do that again.
Oh, okay.
What this means is you are reasonably convinced that you have ruled out at least 1 or 2
Yes.
occult languages.
Yes.
Like you haven't figured out how to control them, but you've started to figure out what doesn't control them.
When Vok comes up, I'm like, Kargi does nothing. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Don't tell him, Kargi. You can say it all you want.
All you
It
want.
doesn't
Doesn't
help.
do shit.
All right. Now, Ellison, how did your turn it back go? How did your shift at the helm?
I had a match in alacrity and a match in luck that I don't have.
Okay.
So
So, what was your alacrity match?
it is Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. You are very uncomfortable and worried about your first time at the helm, and pleasantly surprised that you were able to keep, as far as you can tell, you were able to keep the ship on track. All right. Now, Vok, who is our de facto captain, I think.
I got a success in Verve and a success in Thu.
And Verve and Thu. Okay, interesting. What's the Verve success? Which symbol?
Jupiter.
Well, that's
Jupiter.
Marshall, right?
Okay. And what's the Thu success?
Taurus.
Taurus. Okay, interesting. Okay. You become convinced that there is a change in the thickness of the horizon to the east, directly to the east from your current position.
Thickness?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my question.
The horizon looks thicker than it ought to be. This could be a storm.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a landmass. It could be some other thing going on.
Water retention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget it.
I don't know what to do with that information.
Yeah. So you know from your experience that if you want to know what this is, you need to sail toward it.
Well, what if it's a storm? We don't want to sail towards it.
Right. Yeah.
What if it's a storm of gold?
Yeah.
Seems unlikely.
Don't rule anything out until we know
it could
for
be a
sure.
storm of fish out of the sky or something, and then we could have
It
more
could
rations.
be.
A storm of
It could be.
titans.
Seems more likely than gold.
If you stay on course, you'll probably get a better look at it by about midway through the next shift, or in your shift if you want. You can sail directly toward it and get a good look while you're on deck.
I really fucking hope it's not a storm. No, we gotta keep going the course.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, we're coming up on the end of our session.
Mhm.
So, what has happened is you have really impressed yourself, and Vok, your contempt for your compatriots is somewhat reduced because somehow they seem to be natural sailors. You've really impressed yourself, keeping on course. You are headed southeast as far as you can tell, pretty clearly. You are the the area on the horizon has gotten darker and thicker, and it is not moving very much. You don't see any lightning or anything like that. You think that this might be a landmass that is directly to the east, and you see a smaller but similar area to the south, directly to the south. So if you were to keep going southeast, you would not get any closer to either of these. You could go east to go to a slightly larger, probably landmass. You could go slightly. You could go directly south to go to a smaller, probably.
Am I
landmass.
awake?
It could be a storm. It could be something. Yeah.
Can I
all you
roll
guys are
to
on deck
be
together.
certain, or
I feel like we think we're going the right direction, but we may be slightly off. And if these are land
Exactly.
masses, we should probably stop in and see where we are.
right?
Yeah.
But I want to be sure that they're not storms, because this crew cannot handle a storm.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah. Well, actually, Vok, just give me another roll and tell me what you match on.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
What happened?
I got an intellect success.
All right.
Okay.
Got an alacrity success.
Cool.
Okay.
And I got my lodestar.
Mm.
Wow.
Awesome.
You got double. You
Yes.
double your luck on the lodestar. Okay. It occurs to you that somewhere in the midst of all this, Larson had been looking off the aft castle through a spyglass, and you guys have not found it, but you use the trusty rope to tie off the helm while your friends watch, sadly, and then you go rifle through the captain's cabin again, and you find it. It's a telescoping spyglass is not telescoped, so it's hard to find, but in the back of a drawer you find it. You use this, so add that to your inventory. You've got a spyglass.
Okay.
These are super valuable things. They're really, if you ever wanted to sell it, it would probably be worth a lot of money. And with the spyglass, you are able to see that both of these are land masses. The one to the south does not seem to have trees on it. It's a low-rising mountain with sandy beaches. The one to the east is larger. It has at least two hilltops on it. It's got a less of a sandy beach. It's got a small sandy strand, and it's got at least some trees on it. You can't tell what kind of trees these, given the latitude, these might be evergreens or something, but it's got some kind of trees. So
Okay. Do I see
You have-
any unnatural structures whatsoever?
no, you don't see on either. Oh man, that's a good question. On the island to the south, you are sure that you don't see any artificial structures, any signs of civilization. It doesn't mean that there's not something on the other side of the mountain, there. But as far as what can be seen, you see no evidence. On the island to the east, you are much less sure. You see some exposed rock that could be cliff faces in the jungle, but it might also be some sort of building. You see also some things on the beach that could be driftwood. Maybe there's some sort of canoe. It's much more likely driftwood, but at this distance, at this resolution, you can't be sure.
All right. I'm gonna go below decks,
Okay.
and I'm gonna talk to McPherson.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask, what do you know about the island to, like, I saw him looking at it before earlier, right?
No, you saw Larson using the spyglass when you guys were way at
Okay.
the edge of the world.
Mhm.
McPherson, you've never seen use the spyglass.
Oh,
He
okay.
probably does. This was weeks ago. You saw Larson using it,
Oh.
and you killed Larson.
Oh, I remember the spyglass. Not okay. Never mind. I was gonna cast mind read on him, but that's not useful.
Ask him how to stop the ship, because
I know how
you
to
say
stop the
that
ship.
No, you don't.
I'm a sailor.
The golems. You don't know how to make them stop the ship.
Oh, sure.
You say that we can't handle the storm. We can't handle land.
I'll ask him. What what language controls the golems, or how do you control the golems? And I'm gonna try and cast mind read on him.
Okay. All right. We're reaching the end of our session. Give me a roll for your mind read cast.
All right. Those are some cocked dice. No, literally. Neither of them were successes when I re-rolled them, though, so it doesn't fucking matter. I got an intelligence success and a verve success.
Okay. McPherson is pretty much in shock. He was probably the youngest of the three. He is the least experienced. He says, "I ain't gonna tell you nothing," but you can fairly easily read his mind, and he doesn't.
It's dirty.
Yeah, it's really dirty. No, he doesn't know how to command the golems. Larson was the only one that's done that, but he has heard Larson command the golems, and so you think. Remember, you overheard one of these words before, and you were able to figure out how to use it. You didn't know what it did, but you were able to repeat it. You were able to figure out how to use it. So you think that you know this particular occult language. Which language is being used for the golems? It's not one that you know personally, but it's one that you've come across in books, etc. So you know some of these words yourself in this language, and you are pretty sure. Maybe Larson wasn't pronouncing them quite right, but you are pretty sure that you could make some guesses. So what this means is mechanically, you can command the golems now, but always at a -1 match penalty. So if you don't get any successes, then they will do.
Bad times.
Yeah, they may. It's essentially negative. They may do the wrong thing, not what you wanted. If you
Full
get
speed ahead.
If you get a bail, then they're almost certainly gonna do something really
Start
bad.
attacking you.
Yeah, and but if you get more than one match, then you will have some that success. They will do something like what you want.
Okay.
So that's mechanically what that means. While Vok is down doing that, and Ellison and Griffith are staring in jealousy at the rope that is guiding the ship, you start to hear from below decks a very, very low sound that begins to rise as a sort of wail,
I don't wanna.
shaking the boards of the ship. You don't know where it's coming from, and you won't know for at least another week.
Oh, I know
All
where
right.
it's coming
All right.
from.
My tummy.
Don't be too sure. All right. So thanks, guys. That was a ton of fun. I really appreciate the feedback on the mechanics. I hope they help going forward. And nice job finding land.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Eric, I don't need any help being lecherous. This session, you did a lot of assistance with. Ooh, that's sexy.
You set him
Which
up.
is typically your character.
I know. You totally set him up for some of these. I was like, man, you know where that's going to lead, right?
I do what I must.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I don't want to be the only one. I don't want, like, if we ever have listeners, I don't want them to be like, God, that Mark, every character he plays is a creep.
I
Well,
know.
I
I know.
mean, so far every character you've played is a creep.
Yeah, I know. It's true that.